My name is Jake Hess. I am actually originally grew up in California, but moved to Utah, where most people are from that do sales. But moved back here about 10 years ago, and I don't think I'll leave. Have my son here, have a life out here, all my friends. So typically, right when I wake up, I kind of handle a lot of my social media stuff because I have to check it, so I kind of start scrolling through it in bed. Give myself like 15-20 minutes of that, and then I get up and I go surfing or I go for a run. During COVID, I ate a pizza in the morning. I gained a lot of weight, but then Amy actually schedules me a whole lot of Zoom calls throughout the day. She gives me break times and mostly just coaching. And every other week, I usually travel out of the state as well and go to some of the companies that have hired me across the country and meet with them and help them in their own business. I ran a solar company called Helio Gold for quite some time, and when I first started that company, the broker model wasn't around that most people are operating with today, and so I got to experience things before most people got to experience it. Well, as the industry shifted and changed, I noticed that more and more people wanted to become independent from these sales organizations and go directly to the contractor. And I noticed that there was a massive gap there. No one taught me how to do it, and then ever since I started it, there wasn't anything filling that even all those years later. So I thought, why don't I just be the one to fill that gap between contractor and sales, or becoming an entrepreneur from a sales rep. So a lot of people think, I've sold a ton of accounts, I know how it works, but then once they get into the entrepreneurship side, it's a whole different ball game, and I wanted to help with that. My CPA, through my other company, Helio Gold, the solar company, we had an in-house CPA, and he sat myself and my business partner down, and he showed us all of the numbers. We were blown away. The 80-20% rule definitely hit there. 80% of our production was done by 20% of the volume, but 80% of the money we were spending was being spent on this 80% that didn't produce much. And so we thought, all that money and all this time, let's just drop it, quit it, and do what we're really good at and help people build businesses and help them understand solar in a way that most people don't. I would say that everyone that worked at my previous organization would advocate the fact that we actually operate differently than everyone else, and that gave me the confidence to go out and do it nationally, and it's worked really well since then. Everybody loves growth. Everyone wants to feel that, right? But no one really wants to celebrate it, because if you're growing, if you're with a friend and you're growing, they're kind of like, oh, I could do that too, I just choose not to. But I love to be the one that cheers for them. I love to be the one that's there and kind of guides them and says, oh, I've been there, I've done that. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Don't go down that alley. Let's keep this way. And I just love seeing how it changes their lives, their families' lives, their personal lives, their relationship with their friends and kids, and just the success that they have, and their whole body language, their whole demeanor changes to something because they've accomplished something that most people don't, and I love being part of that. Aside from the great feeling I get from seeing these people's successes and knowing that I got to be a part of that, it's actually what it provides for my family, for myself. I've been able to do things for my immediate family, meaning my brothers, sisters, mom, dad, that most people don't really get to do, let alone my son. That's a whole different, with my son, he has the best life. Like, he has the best life. And I'm a little bit worried that he's going to be one of those spoiled kids that just need a little bit of that. But he has the backyard, he has the friends, he has the best clothes at school. We get to go to Disneyland whenever we want. He has SeaWorld passes, zoo passes. I love providing that for my son, and I would say that's the biggest reward I get, is being able to provide that lifestyle for him. So the biggest struggle on this business was just figuring out. I had been to live events and I saw how mentors were supposed to act, how they were supposed to dress, the way that when you walk into that room, what everything's supposed to look like, and recreating all of that, I thought it would be super easy. And it just was not. It was not easy. You look at something and you think, oh, you know what, I got this, easy done. But recreating all of that was so many details. I mean, I've talked to you guys about it, like all the different cameras and lights you have and all the lavaliers, like how much it is to rent it versus buy it. And it's overwhelming the amount of information you have to know just to be able to get into that space. And it has nothing to do with the thing that you want to do anyway. And that's the part that was hard, is realizing all of the different aspects of the business that you don't see. Yeah, so the lifestyle, it has been great. I've already hit a little bit on, what I get to provide for my son, and that's absolutely beautiful. But I live in one of the most amazing cities in the entire country, less than a mile away from the beach. I go surfing in the mornings. It's summertime year-round. It's 70 degrees every single day, and I live next to my friends, and I get to go camping, and I get to play guitar, and I get to go to Mexico, and we go to the mountains and go snowboarding. And this lifestyle is unique. All the traveling I get to do to different countries, and flying around to helping businesses across this country, and I'd have to say I'm pretty thankful for everything that it's brought me so far. It's when someone says, that they have an issue, and I know that I can help them, but they just can't see it yet. And what keeps me passionate, and I would also say, I would say the humility keeps me, the passion brings the humility, because it needs to bring me back to the mindset they have, and I need to kind of like guide them in a way. I need to go back and remember what it was like being in that position, and guiding them to where I know that they need to be, but keeping a sensitive tone while I'm doing it, but a little bit firm. Finding that balance is tough, but that's my passion, is being able to help people. And what keeps it there is how unstable it is to keep the passion. Does that make sense? Okay, cool, because I know it's a unique answer, but that's what it is. I would say read your material first and foremost. Everyone wants to learn how to sell solar, but here's the crazy part about solar, is when you meet with homeowners, whether it's virtual or in-home, the thing is they already want it. Everyone thinks that they have to go in and they have to sell it to them and get them excited about it and amped up, but they already want it, otherwise you wouldn't be meeting with them, right? So the first piece of advice I would give you is to read the contracts that you are selling and understand them very well, so that if a customer or a homeowner asks a question, you can refer to the contract and tell them how they're protected or how they're going to be affected. And I would say that would be the most critical thing to learn in the beginning, which nobody does. And it's absolutely insane to me that nobody does that, because it's so simple to do. Okay, so short-term goals is building up the operational systems within the Solar Academy to build myself out of it. Not that I want to be out of it completely. I want to focus on the things that I'm really good at, and that would be educating and helping people with the business. I don't want to focus on the back-end stuff, on the accounting, on the project management, on the scheduling. I don't want to focus on all of that. So building the operational systems to free my time would be the short-term goal. The long-term goal would be to move out of the solar niche and move into a more broad range of just helping businesses, all businesses, not just solar related. So from the last 6 months, we're going to go strong and heavy with the direction that we're going right now. However, we have subtly started to roll out little segments of businesses, one of them being Solar Gives Back, which I know that some people have already seen already. Solar Gives Back is one of them. We've already created an award because the country does not have an award for solar, so we created one called the Excellence in Solar Award, and we're waiting for the designers for the trophy to complete that one. The website's done, the funnels are done on that, and the operations is done. We also own the National Solar Association, to make sure that people are compliant within certain regulations. And we are currently working with the state of California for a certification in order to sell solar. It's coming. We're not the ones that brought it. Kind of like how real estate agents need certification when they do real estate. There is not that for solar yet, for sales or for install. So we're in the process of creating that. And there's another one that we're working on that we're pretty excited about that we'll keep secret for the moment.